Apple didn't deprecate ObservableObject. They didn't mark it as legacy. They didn't tell you to stop using it. They did something even worse. They shipped a better system next to it. And if you keep writing SwiftUI the old way, you're fighting the framework without realizing it. Let me show you the difference side by side and why one of these views is already future-proof. And if you want to learn more about the in-depth of SwiftUI, go ahead and check out the first link in the description down below. And you can just book a call with me on Zoom. Now, today we are going to talk about what's the difference between observable object and observable, and why you should definitely do not use observable object. So what I have done over here is just started off a brand new project. We have just simple text of hello world. Now, we are going to compare the two solutions, and then you will definitely see why observable is the winner over there. So we are going to basically create two buttons for this plain example, and we're going to have different random colors being selected when the button is tapped. So we need to create that extension first. So it's going to be an extension on color. There we go. And that will be a static func of random. It's going to return a color, of course. And let's just have an array right over here. Yeah, this is fine. Let's just add a little bit more over here. Let's just go with maybe, yeah, purple is fine. Also yellow. And let's just have also orange and maybe mint dot mint. Okay, so it's just going to give us back a random element. Oh yeah, this has already been declared in the other file, so I'm just going to comment out all of the demo content view that I have prepared in advance. Okay, so that's great. And then we are going to have two views that I'm going to put onto the view model. The right view and the wrong view, the right way of doing view models and the wrong, the old way of doing it. SwiftUI didn't get harder. Our state model got outdated. Most apps still use observable object because that's how we learned it. It works until it doesn't. Apple already moved on. Observable is simpler, cleaner, and what SwiftUI is built for now. The hard part isn't the syntax, it's knowing what to use, when, and why. That's exactly where a mentor saves you months of trial and error. If you want to understand why, not just copy code, that's what I cover in my mentoring sessions. The link is down in the description. So let's just start off by creating the right view of right way of doing things with observable. So observable. And it's going to be a class, and it's going to be the right view model. And we're going to have two variables, variable of value 1 of type string. And let's just type out here observable, why not? So we can see that it's the one with observable. And then another value of not string but int rather, and its default value will be 0. So we're going to increment the value 2 when we are going to tap on the button, and you will see the whole logic in just a second when we are going to build it out in the content view itself. So this view model needs to be added into a view, so let's create that. Let me just have more space over here and maybe a little bit more space on the code side too. So this will be a struct of right view of type view, and yeah, it's going to have a body, and we're going to have a button with an action and label. For the label, we're going to have currently a color.random. And for the action, before we move on to the action, we want to create our view model. So at state private var view model, there we go, equals right view model. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more on the label side. So we are going to have dot overlay we're going to have a text for the view models dot value one. So we are going to have that as the observable in our case. Let's make it a little bit larger. So font of dot large title, and also font weight of black. Okay, so that's our view. Now the action. When we are going to tap on this button, we want to change one value inside our view model, and that is value 2, so the int value. So we're just going to say view model dot value 2 plus equals 1. And let's just also print out so we actually know what happened, because this value 2 will not be represented on the view itself, so we are actually not going to see anything. So let's just say write, it's going to be a string, so write view and view model value 2. Okay, so that's how we would do it the right way. So let's just put it right over here. So write view, and maybe let's just also have ignores safe area and foreground style of white. Okay, so whenever we are tapping on this button, as you can see, the int value is incremented. It's being printed out in the console, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, so that's the right way of doing this. Now, there's the old way, and you might be tempted to use that, and maybe you are already using it. So let's just refactor. Well, basically, I'm going to copy out the view model and the view itself that we have created, and let's refactor it to be the old way of doing this. Again, this is not how you should do it. We want to remove the observable, and this should be the wrong view model, and it adheres to the observable object. Okay, again, this is how you should not do it. And we want to have that observable object, and then the wrong view. Okay, view model would be a state object. And then that would be our wrong view. Right over here, it should print out wrong view and view model value 2. And the action is basically kind of actually the same, value 2 plus equals 1. And then we're going to have a random color over here. And let's just see. We need to import combine for this. So let's just import combine, because observable object under the hood is working with combine, and we also need to add published before our values. So published, let me just copy that out and add it right over there. So those are the differences between those two view models. And now let's just basically change this to the wrong view. And seemingly nothing really happened. It's just going to grab a random color for its background. But let's see what happens when I tap on the button, when I change one of the values inside our observable object. So you see, first of all, wrong view 1, wrong view 2 is being printed out, but the background color is being changed. So let me just show it to you over there. And while we are here, let's just have a VStack. And let's put them side by side. So there we go, Control I, and then right view and wrong view. So observable, the background color actually does not change. And right over here with the observable object, it constantly changes whenever the value 2 changes. Now, what's going on under the hood? So when value 2 is being changed, you should actually say, okay, re-render only those views that are actually associated with value 2. And we do not have anything right over here. You see, we just have value 1, the actual text. That is not changing. But nonetheless, because value 2 is changed, it's a published variable, and we are inside of the observable object, all of the views that are linked to any of the variables that we declared as published variables inside this observable object will be redrawn. So even though value 2 is not linked to any of our views, value view 1 is, right over here. As you can see, we have a text as an overlay. Then all of the views associated to this value will be redrawn, meaning our, first of all, the text and also our random color, because the text is put as an overlay on that color. This is a random one. So it's going to be triggered over and over again. So it's just going to choose a random color. That's why we can see the changes. That's why we know actually that is redrawn. Now the same view logic applies to the right view. As you can see, still random color, still value 1. But now when we are actually changing value 2, it's still in that same observable. Still we have value 1, value 2. But now we change only value 2 as expected. Anything that is outside of its scope, like value 1, will not be redrawn. Here we go again. Tapping on the first button on top, nothing changes. Again, with observable object, every time the whole view redraws, well, all of the views that are linked to the variables, the published variables, will be redrawn, which is a major setback. And yeah, that's why observable object has been replaced by observable. I'm really disappointed that this at least is not deprecated yet, but most probably it will, and it's just going to be removed from the SwiftUI framework, hopefully. So again, use observable with the right values, and do not ever use observable object with the published variables. Now, if you like to go in depth with SwiftUI and would like my teaching style, go ahead and also check out my mentoring sessions. It's rebeloper.com/mentoring. The link is the first one down in the description.